Denizens of MarTech, customer data, ad tech, and the rest, lend me your ears. My name is Dutchy, and well, I'm clumsy with hot brewed beverages. Today, I'll be waxing lyrical about building your own composable data pipelining a collection, so to speak. And why, you ask? Because like most things in this world, there are benefits and drawbacks to building or buying a solution, and no option is ever a perfect fit, no matter how close it may come. And I feel like that's maybe worth exploring a little bit. Before we start, let's get allegorical. Finding somewhere to live is much like buying software. You have several options: rent, buy, and build. You have a budget and an idea of what you want and a timeline for moving. So, number one, renting. Now in this case, it's aligned to a SaaS subscription with pre-built out-of-the-box functionality, catering quickly to the needs of the many. Okay, so perhaps you're looking for something quick, or you like paying more over time, or you want something that comes with much of the convenience already available. For a house renter, this is your white goods. A bed, a sofa, you know, the things that you need. But what about the TV? What about that really fancy coffee machine you wanted? Or even the self-filling bath that you said you would get? Well, in software terms, you're getting a basic solution to a problem and treating it as an operational expenditure. You can't just go to your multi-tenant SaaS provider and say, hey, we need this build, but we're not going to pay you extra for it, and probably won't be profitable for you unless another company wants it to, but give it to us anyway. Just like you can't ask your landlord to install a new bath for you without really making it worth his or her while. Okay, buying. Now, in this case, it's aligned to purchasing a software that you host that solves most of your problems, that has updates and can be tweaked in the buying process. So you've found a place that kind of fits the bill. It's not exactly what you imagined, but it has potential. It solves the main problem, mainly getting a roof over your head and accommodating, you know, however many people you need it to. It doesn't come with beds or even curtains unless you negotiate that with the seller. But it can be redecorated, and once you're done with that mortgage, it will be yours. In software terms, you're getting a customizable solution to most of your problems, and although you may need other things to supplement it in the future, this takes way less effort than building, and the recurring fees are generally only for maintenance and updates. You're always going to have cost of upkeep, but for the sake of privacy and customizability, you have what you need and some of what you wanted, and you own everything in your own home, including your data. Last but not least, building. Now this aligns with creating a custom-built software to fix your problems and your problems alone. You have money to outlay on fixing all of your problems, and you want to pay once, and only once. Excellent. Let's build. You need to find some land, get planning and regs, find the right workman, set a timeline, break that timeline, and then eventually you have something for you and only you. Maintenance is pretty easy as well. Except when those custom tiles and carpentry you thought would be nice suddenly need repairing, and there are no available workmen, and the skill required to fix it comes at quite the cost. Now in the software world, this means hiring the talent to build something, waiting much longer to bring something to fruition, and keeping up to date with changes in the business. More often than not, the technical resources responsible for building and maintaining such a solution, they move away, and software stagnates. It's not a pay once and leave it forever solution. Much like you can't leave a garden alone after weeding it once. You'll need to keep coming back, and in the long term, though you can get a better deal with the specific needs of your organization, it becomes a little bit of a money pit if not managed consistently. I realize that most people are already aware of the difficulties I've just introduced with that story. Now, I'm preaching to the choir. Let me introduce a real-world case to illustrate. Won't be using any real names here for legal reasons, but picture, if you will, a retail behemoth we'll call MegaMarket. Now back in the halcyon days of 2019, they thought they'd flex their Fortune 500 muscles and build their very own customer data collection and pipelining infrastructure. After all, what could possibly go wrong when you have deep pockets and a team of brainiacs, right? Well, here we go. Let's first crunch some numbers, shall we? Building this data dream house would have cost a mere $2 to $3 million and take only 18 months. Add another 5 to 7 million and 24 months for integrations, and also don't forget the annual $2 to $3 million maintenance costs. Just pocket change, really. But money isn't everything. MegaMarket soon realized that they would also require a veritable army of tech wizards, so SREs, data engineers, product managers, vendor relationship gurus, and ad tech shamans. We're talking up to 29 full-time employees here dedicated to this Herculean task. I'm sure HR would have been thrilled. Besides cost and resource, why was this DIY approach such a headache? Well, in addition to the aforementioned blips, it became quite clear that customer data pipelining isn't just a tech problem. It's a labyrinthine nightmare of political and partnership challenges. Not to mention that every vendor and their dog wants their data served to order, much like a fussy toddler at dinner time. So let me summarize that for you. Speed. Each partner integration would have taken 10 to 35 weeks. Faster than continental drift, I'll give you. Messiness. Vendors want data their way or the highway. Not very accommodating of them, I know. Expense. Cloud infrastructure costs? Well, they're not exactly bargain bin pricing. And complexity. Building ID relationships for server-to-server integration? A walk in the park, if that park is a minefield. I think I've kind of made it clear which way they went. Enter MetaRouter. Their solution isn't just about optimizing tags. It's a complete replacement with first-party data and identity processing and server-side event tracking. Their sync injector library is one of a kind, offering true server-to-server data integration with all tools. MetaRouter's platform deploys in a private cloud environment, giving MegaMarket full control. It handles data ingestion, parsing, and distribution to third parties, and the aforementioned sync injector builds a graph of IDs synced across vendors, maintaining attribution for advertising, persisting IDs across time, space, and domain, and controlling identity syncs. So, what in the end made MegaMarket swoon into MetaRouter's knightly arms? Let's count these ways. 1. Single tenant. Only MegaMarket's data are in the platform. No nosy neighbors there. 2. Custom data formats, because otherwise one size fits none in this world of big data. 3. ID syncing, unifying user identities across all partners. It's like herding cats digitally. And 4. Fully server-side, so no more third-party cookie dependence. Take that, privacy regulations. And number 5, finally, private deployment. As I've said, it runs inside MegaMarket's private cloud. So in the end, MegaMarket chose MetaRouter not because building in-house was as painful as stepping on a Lego brick, but because MetaRouter's approach is simply superior. By banishing third-party JavaScript to the shadow realm and bringing user identity under first-party control, they're set for major improvements in not only page latency and overall performance, but other things as well. My dear data disciples, let MegaMarket's journey be a slightly cautionary but optimistic tale. Sometimes the smartest move isn't to reinvent the wheel, but to hop on the bandwagon of experts who've already solved your problem. MetaRouter might just be the porridge in this Goldilocks story. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a date with some server logs and a strong, hot pot of tea. Toodaloo.